Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the podcast where we uncover the stories behind thriving businesses and bring expert insights straight from the source. And I have the pleasure to introduce our guest, Dr. Khan. He owns a company called HealthWise Concierge. Good morning, Dr. Khan. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody?
Doing awesome. Thanks for asking. We basically go behind the scenes to provide you listeners valuable advice from resource to learning about businesses that shape our communities and discover how to make the most of the services that you're listening to from our guests. As
Mhm.
well as if you enjoy this content and you want to hear more, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. So what we're going to do with that, we're going to dive in and get to know a little bit about Dr. Khan's background. Take it away, Dr. Khan.
All right. Well, sounds good. Yeah, I have been a nephrologist, actually. So, internal medicine, nephrology trained physician for the past 10 years or so. Grew up in Orlando, actually, Winter Park area. Went to Winter Park High School, then went to UCF and med school, etc. So started my practice back in 2014. This is like a traditional practice that we did internal medicine and then nephrology, which is the care of kidney, high blood pressure, dialysis, etc. 10 years into the practice now, and now transitioning into a different venture, which is the HealthWise Concierge. So this is a concierge membership-based service. So it doesn't involve any, hassles from the insurance companies per se, and it's more of a physician-patient relationship more so than a doctor-patient, contact. So that's where we are.
Well, congratulations for go venturing into a new venture, right? This is your second business.
Mhm.
And it's awesome that you see an opportunity. When you talk about the benefits of concierge medicine, can you walk us through some of the steps as well as the benefits that are associated with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I think, the world is changing at a very fast pace, right? So I was just listening to a lecture the other day, and they talked about, the world transitioning from an industrial age to a digital age, right? So
Hmm.
you have computers, FaceTimes, video chats, like, all kinds of stuff. And during COVID, I realized that, we were able to provide the outreach, especially when it comes to healthcare, to distant parts using technology. And that's when the idea for this concierge medicine kind of came around. And a lot of times, in the office, it's a very unfortunately very cut and dry kind of situation. You go to the office, you wait X amount of minutes or hours sometimes, and then you get to see the physician, and it's very, here's your labs, this is it, and not doesn't have that personalized touch to it, unfortunately. And that trend of medicine is slowly fading away, unfortunately. And that's when I think concierge would be a good way to, get to medicine to take a different turn as far as, the patient relationship comes into play. So concierge would, allow me to spend more time with my patients, allow the patients to be like, be in the office and discuss all the problems that they have instead of just like, hey, here's your labs and this is it, goodbye. So that's the focus
The
behind
gist
this
of it.
setup. Yeah. Mhm.
That's interesting. And you mentioned the word technology, Dr. Khan.
Mhm.
How has and technology is evolving, like you mentioned a few examples.
Mhm.
What are you seeing in your line of industry and your work that's changing the way technology is being used?
I mean, as far as like, people are more aware. So, as far as lab work, right? So, the moment the labs are available to me, they're also available to the patients, right? So, they have questions, right? Hey, why is my potassium up? Why is my sodium low? Or, all those kind of questions. So people
Mhm.
are researching more because of like, Google and AIs and all of these things. So they're researching more, so they're more concerned about their health, and then
Right.
and we're kind of like, stepwise approaching different problems, right? So high blood pressure, okay, sodiums, like, so it's not just like, hey, your cholesterol's high, here's your pill, I'll see you in 6 months, right? It's more about like, hey, how can I take this pill? Maybe yes, or what else can I do?
Hmm.
Like, have a multi-different approach to treating one condition, and then having that relationship to kind of guide them nutritionally, and bring in some natural aspects of things as well, exercise, etc., counseling. So a lot goes into just one problem per se.
I like how you said that a lot goes into this one problem. So basically, you're able to spend, if I hear you correctly, in your traditional medicine, as you go to a doctor's office, you're like you said, you're waiting, you could be waiting up to hours.
Mhm.
Here, you're actually being able to work individually with your patients and give them proper what is it? Proper
Guidance, yeah.
proper feedback on
Mhm.
what's going on with them, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, with the concierge, it's like, our patients typically have slots, time slots. So in a traditional setup, your appointment's 10, 15 minutes tops. And, like you mentioned, there's a lot of wait time involved. Here, it's up to the patient's discretion. So my patients would say, hey, I am available 12 to 1 on Saturday. Hey, and we'll sit down, chat, very informal. So there's no pressure of being in a doctor's office or anything like
Hmm.
that. This could be in my clinic. This could be at home, at patients' homes. It could be on FaceTime. And it doesn't have to be on that Saturday only. Even if they have a question on a Wednesday night, hey, my blood pressure is running high, they can contact me or my support staff, which are all nurse practitioners and stuff, well qualified. And they're able to guide them like, hey, take your bedtime medications a little bit early, or, okay, you're having a headache. We can, so, it's a very personal focused medication approach versus
Hmm.
like, hey, I gotta wait for the on-call doctor. It's somebody else who doesn't know you, and then I gotta wait tomorrow morning until, and you call the office and wait hours for, like, the office to reach back to you. So this kind of, helps the patient speed up the process and helps us take care of our patients a little bit better.
So a lot of the benefits from, if I hear you correctly, a lot of the benefits are one-on-one with the
Mhm,
patient.
mhm,
Wait time is reduced, correct?
mhm,
You're able to travel. They can come to you, or they have the option, you have the option of coming to them.
mhm,
And then they basically can set their appointments according to their schedule, of course, as well as yours, but
mhm.
it gives them more flexibility, correct?
Absolutely. Yep. So we don't, so there's a cap on how many patients I will be accepting for this program, right?
Okay.
So
It
right
makes
now,
sense.
yeah, so right now the goal is only 50 patients pretty much. And I think we're already up to halfway through it. So, we've got so many spots left. So after that, it will move on to physician number 2. So it's not like one person is just inundated with a bunch of patients. And, so you got to have that balance, right? The physician's got to have the, quality care balance, and and then the patients feel more well cared for, in a setup like that. So,
I love that. And as a physician, I love that word balance, man.
oh,
You
no.
couldn't have said it because I know, we talk all the time and you're so busy. And can you let's talk about, for those that are business owners or
Mhm.
those that are aspiring to be in the medical profession, how do you balance
Yeah,
business and personal?
yeah. There's, there isn't a right or wrong way about it. Like, I've got 3 little ones, right? So they're 9, 5, and 4. So very demanding ages, right? So,
Right.
and you want to spend, you don't want to wait until they're 18 to spend time with them, because then they're long gone. They
Correct.
want to do their own thing, right? So right now is the time to spend with them, and so kind of having that balance between the family, the hospital, the clinic, and it is challenging. Everybody's got their own little, like, formula per se. I start super early in the morning. I'm a morning person. So at 6 o'clock, I'm in the hospital. I, get that taken care of ASAP. Then I move on to my clinic and I try to get it all out of the way by 4 o'clock, take care of my paperwork. And I got 5 o'clock. It's like, okay, it's done time, family time, switch modes. Right. So, but it's in my head it works, but some days it doesn't play out like it's supposed to, right?
Exactly, that's
yeah.
usually how it is.
But we try, and it's nice to have a supporting family, wife especially, so she takes care of the kids and everything while I'm slaving away.
Well, as we wrap up here, there are those that are listening that are wanting to be aspiring entrepreneurs or are currently business owners or physicians. Can you give any advice to them of your learning experience over the years, and maybe one or two pointers that they could take away with?
Mm-hmm.
If they're yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the medicine has changed so much. Like, when this is, so I've been since residency, it's almost been 14 years now. So it's not very standardized now. Many people are doing many different things, right? So it doesn't have to be when you come out of med school, you're just trained to, hey, you'll be working in a clinic, you'll be seeing 20 patients, and it's very repetitive. But it's okay to think outside the box, even if it comes to medicine, right? So for example, concierge, there's people even in our practice, we do hormone replacement, we do aesthetics, we do IV vitamins, we do natural medicine, right? So that's what I wanted to do, because I didn't want my patients to be just stuck on a chemical per se. Hey, here's your medication and that's it. I want everything together. But there's people doing different kinds of things. People are. So I think it's okay to be innovative when it comes to medicine, right? So it's not just think outside the box, look around. There's people doing all kinds of stuff, right? So.
Very good answer. And as we're wrapping up here, and I just kind of want to make mention of this, as I was visiting your website, I know some of the things that you have include weight loss, men's health, women's health, IV vitamin infusion, corporate health and wellness. So all these different services you provide, that is under the concierge, the HealthWise concierge business, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, it kind of goes back to the I'm a DO, which is Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine. So, I bring in the holistic integration to the traditional medicine, right? So when it comes to weight loss, for example, it's not just like, hey, here's your Ozempic or here's your medication and you're on your own. That's it, right? So we got to talk about side effects. We got to talk about, hey, we got to give you some vitamins because this is going to curb your appetite, and you're not going to be eating, drinking. So yeah, we can starve ourselves and lose a bunch of weight, but then you're not healthy, losing that weight, right? So you got to support yourself with some IV vitamins or fluids, and so it has to be like a global approach.
Balance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So diet, counseling, hey, some people have eating disorders, right? Hey, you just want to eat, right? So you have to counsel them. So there's a multitude of things, right, that comes along, with this just one issue that you're trying to address, right? So that's
well, Dr. Khan, thank you so much. I know you're busy. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to share your business, your practice, with our listeners. And if you can you provide a way for them to get a hold of you, your website, as well as a phone number?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So the website's healthwiseconcierge.com. And then the phone number is 407-731-0665. That is actually my cell phone number. So that just, goes to show how personal we are. So, if you have questions, you are, directly in contact with me, basically.
Well, thank you again. And it was such a pleasure speaking with you. And hopefully we can have you back again in the near future.
Oh, absolutely. It was a joy. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for tuning in to First Media Consulting Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, subscribe today. To nominate a business you would like to recommend to be on our show, go to firstmediaconsulting.com or call. Thank you for listening.